So, gehen wir zu Dead Space. Ich habe gerade überhaupt keine Ahnung, wie man das jetzt findet. Da offizieller Gameplay-Trailer, den meint ihr wahrscheinlich nicht. Da ist der Livestream. 2 Minuten, da kann ich noch mal ganz kurz ins Klo gehen. Wir sehen uns gleich. Da geht's los. Ah, das sind all die geilen Momente, die man noch vom Original kennt. Und es sieht jetzt alles ein bisschen besser aus, aber man muss sagen, das Originalspiel sah auch schon so geil aus, dass man da vielleicht gar nicht so den Überblick, den Unterschied merkt. Vor allen Dingen in dieser verwaschenen Version hier. Aber spielen werde ich es auf jeden Fall, wenn es rauskommt. Danke, Panzerkuschler. Bald.
Bonjour tout le monde. Hi everyone. Welcome to this 4th dev stream for Dead Space. On this very day, 14 years ago, was the release of the first Dead Space. And what better way to celebrate this than with a deep dive into the remake of this fantastic game. But I'm getting ahead of myself. My name is Philip, and once again, I'm joined by Roman, our creative director.
Hello, everyone.
And with us, back from our first live stream, back in a year ago, we have Jackie and Khalif. Thank you for being with us today for this stream.
It's nice to finally be in person.
Definitely is. What did you think of the trailer?
I mean, it's so cool to see how far everything has come from, us seeing things really, really early and now getting to see, an almost finished game like this. It's just so awesome to see all of it start to come together in this bigger way.
It's
so
awesome.
I'm really excited, yeah.
It's so
I'm blown away
awesome.
from going from playtest to finally seeing everything actually come together as well. It just brings up the nostalgia and the new game, and I'm very, very excited.
Cool. Excited. I'm so excited.
As I said at the start,
it's
this is our second live
awesome.
stream with Jackie and Khalif. And then the first one that we
The
did,
awesomeness is so
year,
exciting.
We talked about the approach that we took for the remake and shown Work-in-Progress asset to illustrate our intentions. We followed this up with a second live stream in March with our audio director, Olivier Asselin, to explain our approach on audio that plays such an important part in the game. In the last live stream that we did in May with Mike Yazijan, our art director, it allowed us to go into the details of how the team is recreating the Ishimura for Gen 5.
What did you guys learn exactly from doing those past live streams?
So it was really interesting to be able to share working progress or early assets with the community and get early feedback. Like, we got a lot of really good feedback from you, from everybody in the community, but also getting feedback, like for example on the audio of the guns, or how the Ishimura did not look maybe dirty enough, or those kind of things. It was really interesting for us to continue to add and polish the assets we were building for the real game.
Yeah, that transparency is something we haven't had a chance to see a lot often in the gaming industry so far. So it was really nice to bring the community in and get feedback, not only with the player council, but with also like people on Reddit and whatnot.
Yeah. Alongside all those folks kind of giving you that feedback in real time, just how was the buzz around it? Because I know a lot of folks are really excited for this coming back and now kind of getting more information and more visuals of seeing what's happening. How did that kind of play into all of that, kind of building up some more hype for it?
Well, for sure, for us, it's a way to get the pulse.
Yeah.
Like what we're making, is it something that's exciting players?
Exciting.
And for devs, like every time that we were doing a stream, everyone was looking at the boards and any type of social media trying to follow, like, okay, well, what are people saying? What are the issues? What are the things that they appreciate? So it's exciting to be able to have that feedback much sooner than we usually are, and also not with all buttoned up assets that are more marketing-y,
Yeah.
and that sometimes won't necessarily represent all the effort that the team is having and putting together to explain what are we trying to achieve. So I think the way it was done for us, it allowed to show the behind the scenes a little bit more, and show all the passion and love that the team has for the game that we're making.
Because like everybody in the team, starting with us, and like everybody at Motive or working with us, we're all big fan of Dead Space, and really doing those live stream, having that open discussion, it really helps us to make sure that we are being true to the original. That not only we are remaking Dead Space and remaking it with the eyes of us as fans, but that's also something true for other people outside of the team that are also fan of the original game. And that was something really important for us, and I hope it shows in what we are showing today.
It's very apparent. I feel like I learned that very early on in the player council sessions, that you guys do care and you were responsive to critical comments that we had, and it's coming from a place of obviously love and passion for the game, which is nice.
Passionate, genau.
And it
Passion.
feels like you're bringing all of us back in and closer to development, which is a thing I'm sure is very scary for all of you as well, doing that work and kind of opening up the doors in that way. But I'm excited. Again, like, this is going to be super fun, and I guess we have a lot more to show during the
Schau mir mehr von
We
diesem
do.
awesome,
We do.
exciting
So we have many
passion
things to show today.
project.
So we actually want to start with a gameplay extended trailer that we're going to look at. In this extended trailer, we'll have Isaac that's going to be walking through the engineering deck. And his mission is to repair the engines. And to be doing that and to be fixing something that completely went haywire. We'll showcase a lot of the novelties that we brought to the game. But Roman, to kick things off, why don't you walk us through the different priorities that we set very early on the project and that have acted as guiding lights for the production?
Yes, Phil, but before doing that, I want us to quickly go back to the original Dead Space and just walk you through what we think were some elements that were really unique to that experience and that we really want to recreate and pay really justice to in the remake of the game. And the first one, really unprecedented immersion. Dead Space redefined immersion convention in gaming. No HUD, very few cutscenes, everything geared toward having players at the edge of their seats from start to finish, never letting go of the controller. Iconic setting, inspired by Alien, Event Horizon, and The Thing, Dead Space brought a classic survival sci-fi setting never seen before in game, with this level of quality. Of course, the gameplay, strategic action, shooting monsters in the face was no longer enough. Having players think under pressure to survive with satisfying dismemberment mechanics was seen as one of the most unique gameplay takes for the genre's history. Fast forward to today, and Dead Space is back to its roots and better than ever. The first thing we did was to clarify our design goal, defining what it meant to create a true remake for Dead Space. Those 4 design priorities are true to the original, horror, unbroken immersion, and creative gameplay.
Man muss dazu sagen, dass der erste Teil tatsächlich noch, sage ich mal, das Kern-Gameplay verbunden hat. Also wirklich, das war einfach spielerisch vielem voraus, gerade dieses Abtrennen der Glieder, das Herumstolpern auf dieser tödlichen Station, das war schon gut gemacht. Also ich habe nichts dagegen, dass sie ein Remake machen, aber ich frage mich echt, ob die Optik das nötig hatte. Ich weiß es nicht.
Senior producer on Dead Space.
Na gut, schauen wir mal rein.
Today, I'm here to give you a first look at one of my favorite sections in the game. So we find ourselves here in the Ishimura's hangar at the beginning of Chapter 3. We're going to make our way towards the control room in engineering, where we'll attempt to restart the ship's engine. For those of you
Ja, shit, okay, es sieht doch schlechter aus, ne, im Original. Ich habe das viel besser in Erinnerung.
We get to explore this location and literally fly through it before heading to our destination. Navigating between chapters without load screens or having a camera cutaway is part of how we've reimagined the Ishimura for the remake. We don't need to rely on the tram as the sole way to get between chapters. It is now a seamless, interconnected ship.
Entering vacuum.
Ja, da haben sie auf jeden Fall schon ein bisschen was verändert.
You can quickly get rid of them with the pulse rifle or Isaac's trusty plasma cutter.
Echt mal gespannt, was sie noch
There
daraus
aren't many
machen,
traditional firearms on board.
wenn es dann
Survive, you may have
rauskommt.
to improvise and choose how to
Wie
take
viel
each
wirklich
necromorph
anders
down.
ist. Aber bisher bin ich eigentlich doch sehr angetan. Es ist natürlich etwas, was man schon kennt. Aber für die, die es
We have a lot
kennen,
to show you, so let's skip
ist es
ahead to
natürlich
chapter 3.
eine tolle Sache. Und für alle, die es nicht kennen, ist es ja noch viel besser. Weil ihr könnt es mit geiler Optik,
We've
mit
just
ein
received a
paar
briefing to head over
Quality
to
of
the refueling
Life
station.
Momenten und sicherlich auch dem
get
altbekannten
there, we're passing through the machine
Horror-Feeling
shop
könnt ihr es dann noch zum ersten Mal durchspielen. Und das lohnt sich auf jeden Fall. Absoluter Splatter-Horror, Body-Morph-Horror
If you
at its
needed to
best.
backtrack or simply wanted to explore the ship further, you may encounter a completely different experience. Different enemies, the ambience and lighting may change. This is what we call the intensity director. It keeps the Ishimura unpredictable and brings some additional tension and challenge.
Cool. Also irgendjemand ist am Lichtschalter und macht die ganze Zeit an, aus. Das findet man immer geil.
The way to the refueling station is just a little further ahead.
Aber ist vielleicht eine gute Idee, um es wirklich immer unberechenbar zu halten. Ist eigentlich eine schöne Idee.
As you can see, some memorable moments are authentic to the original. We've added tons of graphical enhancement that support strategic dismemberment.
Wie, er hat ja gar nicht mit dem Stiefel
Using
drauf
kinesis,
getreten.
We'll bring that gondola over and make our way to the south refueling station. We need to gain access to the fuel management office, which contains the power functions for the refueling station. We can follow that cable to find our way there. One of the things we tried to achieve was to add more context to the various objectives, to expand on what was there, and bring a bit more detail and depth where we could.
Ja, schön die Kinese angewendet. Ah. Also ich krieg jetzt wieder Bock aufs Spiel, weil der erste Teil hatte eben noch dieses Horror-Setting, war noch nicht so übertrieben, was die Monster anging.
The refueling station has no power.
Und
We
es
can look
macht
for a way to
einfach
access the
Bock.
fuel management office.
Hier macht das Ballern einfach Bock. Jemanden einfrieren und dann ihm langsam die Glieder wegschießen. Das ist, klingt brutal, aber ist in dem Fall absolut richtig.
Isaac. Hammond.
Daniels? You made it.
Thank God. After the bridge, we thought...
Glad to disappoint. I barricaded myself in the computer core. I can hear them, but I don't think they know I'm here. Isaac, I tracked down your rig. You're an engineer, right? I'll get myself admin privileges. Maybe I can help.
Now that we have access to this room, we're faced with a very tough choice. We could cut power to life support and rely on air canisters for oxygen, but today we'll play the section without lights instead.
Hört ihr das, ne? Dieses Stampfen der Maschinen. Dieses absolut ohrenbetäubende Stampfen. Das ist einfach so toll. Das Sounddesign ist so gut gemacht. Und währenddessen hört ihr ja noch die ganze Zeit die Monster oben rum crawlen in diesen Lücken. Ganz toll.
With the power restored, the south refueling station can now be activated.
Auch wie wegweisend das HUD war. Also ganz, ganz, ganz beeindruckend, wirklich. Hat ganz viel Dinge etabliert, die heute normal sind.
In the decontamination room, using new tech, we've cranked up the tension. Dynamic smoke creates that thick and opaque atmosphere that makes you lose track of the lurkers, even when they're right next to you.
Ja, Stiefel.
It adds to the claustrophobia, the feeling of being locked in with a pack of necromorphs.
Danke, Ziegenmann.
Our last stop is a centrifuge. It's offline, and the Ishimura is getting dragged down to the planet below.
Please attach generator modules.
We've added so much detail in here.
Ja, stimmt
Particle
schon.
effects, lighting, floating debris.
Aber ich hätte es
We
nicht
wanted this
gedacht,
room to be imposing
dass das
and tell
alte
a
so
story
schlecht
at the same
aussieht.
time. It's a lot more impressive, and its size makes it harder to keep track of the incoming necromorphs. So audio plays a huge role here in identifying the direction of threats. With one of the generator modules back in place, we can head to the second one. Flying in zero-G and not being anchored to the surface makes spatial awareness extremely important. Combat encounters can quickly become deadly, especially with leapers.
Oh, ich weiß noch, wie oft ich das versucht habe, weil ich es vorher nicht verlangsamt hatte. Wollte es nicht connecten und ich habe es einfach nicht gerafft. Hä?
Generator module attached. Clutch engaged. All personnel clear for centrifuge restart.
I hope you enjoyed this sneak peek at the new Dead Space. Thank you for tuning in.
Ja, da bin ich jetzt erstmal begeistert. Ist ganz schön
That was
awesome.
nuts.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
That was wild.
From the hangar
That's
to
wild.
decontamination,
It's so
to centrifuge,
wild and
to the
awesome.
interconnected gameplay, to the intensity director, the list goes on. The first thought after seeing that is, why the fuck am I using the tram? The answer is replayability. Now we can go back and play multiple playthroughs with different options. You have more exploration. It was amazing. It's incredible.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about the intensity.
Aber es ist auch wild.
Because I think for a game like this, where folks are coming back to this kind of content, one of the things that people talk about a lot is like, well,
Füllen Sie
what's
Ihre
gonna be
Bingo-Karten
different in
jetzt
the playthrough that
aus.
I'm going to have when I go in and go back into a game like this. Talk a little bit about the intensity director and how that's going to change the way folks are going to be coming to this new version of a game that they might have played before.
It was important for us to have something, like to have the right balance between what's scripted in the game and what keeps the players on its toes. We've obviously, and we've seen it in the trailer, we've kept a lot of things scripted. Like we have to have those precise jump scares at certain moments, and it's important to have the highs and lows in the intensity of the gameplay.
Korrekt.
But since we're bringing the tram and the retraversal throughout the entire ship, we needed something to be able to fill those sections of gameplay and make sure that there was things that were surprising the player so that the tension could go back up. And so for us, that was important to find that right balance and to figure out a way to keep the player on the edge when re-exploring and walking around the ship.
And so the thing is, that balance, there's multiple elements that comes in it. Like, so yes, there is the scripted golden path moments, and those ones, every time you're going to play them, they're going to play exactly the same. They're going to play once, and that's it. But even in those, sometimes there might be a twist. Like, you might expect slasher coming from that vent, and it's not going to be there, or those kind of things. But they're going to play mostly the same every time you replay them, if it's a new walkthrough or whatever. And then we have varying degrees of systemic events. Like, if it can be just fights, it can be messing with the lights, messing with the sounds. There's different events that we can play with, depending if you're just moving from a fight to another, or if you're revisiting a whole section of the ship. It's not going to be the same. Basically, the way we treat that, we have an intensity curve, and all the events in the game are tracked with their level of intensity. And so that allows us to know, like, okay, the player had already a couple of really intense fights. Maybe we're not gonna throw him another huge fight with tons of enemies and stuff. Here in the next corridor, we're just gonna play a little bit with the lights that are going to blink and some creepy whispers in your ears. And that's it.
Als Konzept finde ich das schon mal gut. Muss halt auch funktionieren. Aber ist auf jeden Fall ein bisschen kunstvoller als einfach nur ein Jumpscare oder eine Cutscene oder einen vordefinierten Gegner oder eine Welle ablaufen lassen.
And I know you also talked about this, pre-stream and pre-conversation was, even the slashers are going to be a little bit different when you see one as opposed to the other. Talk a little bit about that, because I thought that was super cool too.
Yeah, so that's something in the original, like all the slasher, they already had some kind of job when they were humans about the ship, like depending on which bridge you were like seeing medical miners or medical guys or whatever. So that's something we definitely kept from the original. But riffing on that, we wanted to add a bit, even more personality to the slashers, and makes you really, like, every time you're gonna shoot a slasher, we would like you to feel like it's a different guy. And so on top of giving them jobs and different clothes and stuff like that, we also gave them ethnicity, because the Ishimura, it's really has a diverse crew, and we wanted that to also show on the slasher. So no, it really feels every time it's a new guy, and it's a new, you can really believe playing the game. We're trying to reinforce the immersion around that. Like, yeah, those monsters, they used to be the crew.
Der eine hat eine Brille, der andere ein Buch in der Hand. Dem dritten fehlt ein Schuh. Ja, hat einen Kochlöffel. Immer ist mit dem Kochlöffel verwachsen. So weiß man das. Die Mütze. Er zieht so eine Mütze ab, darunter ist Fleischmütze. Genau dasselbe nochmal.
Audio is obviously the massive staple. It's what drew me in initially to Dead Space and really kept me, that whole intrigue. In this trailer, in Decontamination, for example, we have the increased fog, like the dynamic fog, that you can't necessarily always see where enemies are coming from, which is really interesting because of its more audio.
Das ist wirklich
and
geil.
You have to really listen to what you're looking for, and we see that again.
Gerade diese kleinen Tentakelviecher, die können sich super da verstecken.
It's fucking massive. It's huge. I love how you're showing the original game, because you recall like these different areas and you imagine these huge environments, but now looking at what the remake is, it's just mind-blowing, honestly, and it's much darker, which I grilled you guys a lot about darkness.
I remember that, yeah.
But I really, really like that since these spaces, you still have smaller spaces enclosed for that claustrophobic feel, which is true to the original, but you also have these very, very large rooms now that are extremely built out, grittied down, very gritty looking and dark and immersive, but you don't know where ads are necessarily coming from because of the intensity director. It's not just the same vent every single time, which is great because then you have to utilize your audio and really listen for where ads are coming out. I love that aspect, and I like Decontamination. It's much scarier in my opinion now. There's a lot to like.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you touched on a lot of points that were points of interest for us. So audio, that we had, like I said, Olivier that went in and explained how we're trying to recreate in one of the past streams, and it is something that like,
du kannst ruhig Scorn drin lassen im Titel. Wir wechseln ja gleich wieder zu Scorn. Ansonsten ist das hier Dead Space 1 Remake.
Oh no, that creature just spawned behind me, but I have someone in front of me now. Like,
who should I prioritize?
What should I do?
Yeah.
And we do play around with that, like in the scripted sequences, but also the intensity director, like Kaman said, there's a lot of events that are either foreshadowing events that may lead to something or not, or post-shadowing, like if the enemy decides to jump through a vent and walk away and run away, you'll hear that enemy travel within the world. So
or if he's trying to actually run away after you because you ran away, you saw him and you were like, no, fuck it, I'm out. And you switch rooms and you're gonna hear him go through the vent, crawl in the walls, and come back from another.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it plays such an important part, and with the music, with the sound effects of the guns and everything, and we're getting to a place where it feels good. It feels right when you're listening, the right tune, the right mix. It's always something that we do until the very end, the mix of every sound element.
Trägt er einen
but the team's done an
String-Tanga
amazing
über
job,
seiner
and
Jeanshose?
It's great.
Yeah.
Seht ihr das?
Real quick,
Was trägt er denn? Wo kommen diese Schnüre her?
Which I think is really, really interesting. A lot of folks are going to be excited to see how that's going to play out.
Danke für dein Abo, Jabakadabra.
Important it was to add that layer to this game too.
So yeah, definitely early on.
Ja, wenn die so reden, habe ich auch Bock
that
drauf,
was a
das
huge
gleich
deal,
zu spielen.
Discussion around Isaac voice, like in one of our first conceal, we spoke about that, and at first
I'm still mad that I wasn't the voice of Isaac. I'm still salty about that. I didn't get that role.
Necessarily convinced, right?
I raised my hand a lot.
Are you sure, guys? That's so. Our thought about that was like, so yes, we're making Dead Space, but who's Isaac? Who's that guy? And thinking about Dead Space 2.
Danke,
Space
Nea
3,
Angel.
For us, Isaac Clarke, it's Gunnar Wright. It's the actor that's playing Isaac in Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 3 that give his voice to Isaac in Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 3. To the point of which in the team we call him Gunnar Clarke. it's really is the guy. And so going back to Dead Space, there were elements that we wanted to enhance in terms of narrative, and one of those was Isaac as a character. Why is he coming to the Ishimura? What's his relation with the other characters around? And also give him a bit more agency to have him a
Natürlich
little bit more
spiele
passive,
ich
like
Callisto
when you enter
Protocol.
an area
Und
and
danke
you get
Nea
ammo,
Angel
can
und
you do everything, you
Rikachu.
exactly have to. And what? You're supposed to be the engineer. Like, that's your role. Like you're supposed to be the guy that knows how to actually make those stuff and get out of that alive. So for all those reasons, early on we started to think about, okay, we should go back to Gunnar Wright. Now that guy, the Isaac also in Dead Space 1. And we should give him a voice. And now that's allowed us to unlock all those different elements around giving him a bit more personality and agency in what he's doing. Stuff.
Ja, das finde ich ganz gut,
But the
wird auch
one
Zeit.
issue, of course,
Die Zeit der
was
stummen
with
Protagonisten
horror,
ist mehr oder
because
weniger vorbei.
Isolation, it's a huge element of the horror in Dead Space. And it's that element like when you're in the dark and you have to go in the basement and you're looking for the lights. Know what I'm talking about, Kelly, right? No? And you don't find the fucking lights and you start to talk to yourself because it reassures you.
Yeah.
And that was definitely something we didn't want it for Dead Space. We didn't want Isaac to start to talk when he's alone because that would break a little bit the horror element. And so we have that one rule that is almost true across the game. We maybe break it once or twice, not more, which is Isaac only talks when he's being talked to. He only answers. Like you get to medical, you see the barricade, Hammond starts to talk to you, and Isaac will answer and say, yeah, that's the fucking barricade, I have to blow it. And it's Isaac that's going to come with the plan of what to use and where to find those things to blow the barricade. But then, once that communication is done, and you're alone in medical, well, you're alone in medical, and he's not gonna comment what he sees, and he's gonna shut the fuck up. And that's something that's really important for us, and I think it really improves the immersion because also it gives reactions to Isaac to elements that were feeling weird if he was not reacting to or if he had no emotion about what's happening.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm super excited to see that come to life because I know when I am scared, I do really, really dumb things. I talk to myself on
Olli.
beatbox, so Isaac, we hopefully
Schön, dass du da
beatbox
bist.
in
11 Monate.
scared, so we'll see how that works.
Cool. You'll hear him grunt, and like throughout the exhaustion, and when he's tired, you're gonna hear him paying when he's hurt and everything through the Eli system.
Yeah.
But no, he's not gonna mumble to himself like you do.
Okay. Good on him, for sure.
Okay, well, it wouldn't be a celebration without showing some more awesome stuff for the Dead Space fan. I'd like to introduce our friends at Limited Run Games. Alina, Jared, great to have you both join us.
Do you love Dead Space? Of course you do. I'm Jared from Limited Run Games, and I love Dead Space too. And I'm not the only one here who does. For example, to my right, your left, my friend.
Alina. Hi, I'm Alina from Limited Run Games, and we are super excited to show you what we have for Dead Space fans.
You told us you wanted a Dead Space Collector's Edition, and we listened. And you said what you wanted, most of all, was this, the Isaac helmet. And holy crap, it happened. Isn't this amazing? And we're going to get to it in just a minute. Yes, it's the most exciting part, but there's also some really great other stuff in this Collector's Edition we want to show you. And for more on that, Alina!
So we're super excited to talk about the components of this Dead Space Collector's Edition. There's so
Sogar
many
eine
awesome
CD.
things I can start with. So we've got a 4-inch premium marker
Mann,
statuette.
habt ihr irgendwas
It's
gelernt
beautiful, it's
aus
gonna
dem
be
Spiel?
heavy, and we
Den
can't wait for
fucking
you guys to
Marker
put it on
baust
your
du nicht
desk.
nach.
We also have a
Seid ihr völlig
steelbook
wahnsinnig?
included, which has the Dead
Vielleicht
Space
arbeiten sie
logo
schon an
and
Dead Space
Isaac's
4.
silhouette on the back.
Okay, totally interrupting here, but I want the embroidered Ishimura 3-inch patch. I want to stick it on something, I don't know, my jacket, my hoodie here, my forehead. I don't know. Where are you going to put it?
I don't know. You could put it on anything. Maybe a backpack.
A dog?
A dog.
A pig? Dinosaur?
Pig too. Yes.
Pizza?
Yes.
Don't eat it.
But it might taste good.
Yeah, getting back to this, apparently we also have a lithograph of some sort?
Yeah, we do. We also have a lithograph print encased in a bifolding portfolio. It also has foil stamped logos on the front of it. It's going to be awesome.
I want to get marker and enamel pin. You can stick it in your Crocs, in your bulletin board, in your wall. You can stick it anywhere you want to.
And a soundtrack and 4 mini posters.
And now, what you really came here for, that's right, the Isaac helmet. Look at this thing of beauty. It lights up.
Es sieht so hässlich aus, Alter. Ich habe noch nie so eine große Verschwendung von Plastik gesehen.
Adjustable. Now I have a truly colossal noggin, like a big old fat head. And this thing, watch this.
Geil. Passt also jetzt auch auf fette Köpfe.
That's right. Alina, is this an improvement?
I think it looks very good.
You do? Well, you know what? I mean, okay, so once again, it's adjustable, so it'll fit any size head or almost any size head. My head, probably your head, definitely Alina's head, but you're not going to put it on.
My hair. So yeah, there's a lot of love and passion that went into the creation of this helmet. It's based on in-game sculpts. Our team worked directly with the
based on
characters to get the
ausgelutschte
paint
alte
shape and feel
Joghurtbecher.
just right.
You can feel the love that went into every texture of this helmet. Folks, this is a spectacular
Boah, ist das hässlich.
collectible. I really
Nee,
hope you
bitte.
enjoy it.
Nee, jetzt hör auf.
Alina, tell folks where they can get it today.
You can pre-order the Dead Space
Ohne
Collector's
Scheiß.
Edition for
Ich hol mir lieber einen Helm, der
limited
aussieht wie der Typ, der den Helm gerade in der Hand
You can get it
hält.
for PlayStation 5, Xbox, and PC.
Friends, this is one spooky piece of headgear. We hope you enjoy it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Alina, Jared, everyone at Limited Run Games. This looks great. Thank you for putting this together. What are your thoughts?
My eyeballs immediately gravitate towards the LED helmet.
I'm more looking at the marker. I love small things you can put on your desk and kind of show your fandom and nerddom in that way. And weirdly, I like the propaganda poster stuff. Like, you know, kind of getting a chance to see like inside the world of the game in those kinds of ways. That stuff always makes me really happy. So are you gonna?
Das wäre eine gute Idee als Toaster.
Yeah.
Ein Toaster, der aussieht wie der Originalhelm von Isaac.
I love that.
Also,
Würde ich auch nicht
following some
kaufen,
of the
aber
streams,
da
we
würde ich
saw
zumindest sagen,
comments
ja,
from fans
kann man machen.
Like they've liked the shorts that we had, the hoodies that we shown at the different live streams, and they were asking where they could get it. So like we're happy that working with different teams internally, we actually were able to spin out a shop that's going to be coming soon. So you're going to be able to get the shirts like mine, like Roman's, and
It's
other
not
stuff.
prototype, but there will be multiple shirts, hoodies, stuff like that. So keep on the lookout for the store coming soon, right?
Yeah.
All right, time to wrap this up.
Huge shout out to our team at Motive and all of the collaborators that have helped us bring this remake to you all.
And a big thank you to everyone working on that project, whether it's at Motive or all of our partners, but also to everybody in the Community Council. Thank you very much for all your feedback, for helping us make that remake a true Dead Space experience. And to everybody in the larger community that tuned in during our live stream, that gave us feedback, that also helped us shape that remake. Thank you very much.
We're lucky to have the Community Council that's with us today for the anniversary live stream. So thank you all for your
Das ist
presence.
bisher mein
Your feedback
Lieblingsbild.
has been very
Einfach
useful. All
10
throughout
random
production.
dudes und
Being with us
girls.
Since conception, it's been great.
Okay.
Thank you. If you like what you've seen today and are excited about the return of Dead Space on PC and next-gen consoles, the game is available for pre-order, or you can mark your calendar for January 27th, 2023. We're eagerly looking forward to that date. Be sure to follow our different social channels to stay up to date on all the Dead Space related information so you don't miss anything leading up to our launch. Jackie, Khalif, thank you for being with us today. Excited to play some more of the game?
I mean, it is time now for us to stomp out some Necromorphs. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to check out the Ishimura and all the goodness that you put in. So it's time. It's time to get it on.
I'm really hyped for launch.
Ja, in 4
Ready, it's about
Monaten.
time.
Oh yeah. Roman, comme toujours, un plaisir.
It's time to
Thank you,
wait
everyone. Hope you
for
enjoyed the
a
stream
month.
today and looking forward to showing more of the game
Jetzt
to
zeigt
you
doch noch
all.
mal so ein Trailerchen.
USG Ishimura, this is the emergency maintenance team of the USG Kellyan responding to your distress call.
Isaac Clarke.
What have you got, Isaac?
Half the Ishimura's in the red. Engines, hull, the tramps.
Can you handle it alone?
Fix the centrifuge. Get the fuel running.
This is Senior Medical Officer Nicole Brennan. Medical is overwhelmed. We need help.
Entering vacuum. Toxic hazard detected.
Humanity will be made whole, Mr. Clark. With or without you.
Isaac, it's me. It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening.
Nicole?
Also im Trailer fehlt mir hier so ein bisschen dieses Twinkle, Twinkle, a Little Star. Das hat mir sehr viel Bock gemacht immer. Aber das war jetzt schon nicht schlecht. Also man hat jetzt auf jeden Fall einiges gesehen zu Dead Space. Man weiß schon länger, wann es kommt. Aber ich glaube, das hat auf jeden Fall jetzt nochmal Bock gemacht und ein bisschen was gezeigt. Für mich war es jetzt, da ich ja auch auf der Gamescom war und mich ja auch für das Spiel interessiere, jetzt auch nichts Neues. Aber wobei doch diese Art mit diesem AI Director, das ist eine Idee, die schon sehr lange durch Horrorspiele geistert, nämlich die Idee, dass man, je nachdem wie der Spieler spielt, andere Dinge geschehen lässt. Also wenn gerade richtig viel Action ist, dann gerade kommt Ruhe und Grusel, damit man nicht überreizt wird und es nur zu so einer Schießbude wird. Und dann, wenn man gerade so, wenn der Puls gerade wieder so auf Normalzustand ist, dann geht's los und dann kommt die Horde. Ein sehr, sehr schöner Titel, den ich euch nur empfehlen kann. Wenn ihr Bock habt auf die ganze Reihe, dann könnt ihr gerne Teil 1 und 2 bei After Dark Rocket Beans mit mir gucken. Habe ich komplett durchgespielt, mehrfach mittlerweile. Und werde natürlich auch, wenn dieses Remaster, wenn dieses Remaster kommt, werde ich das natürlich auch sofort hier zocken und auch durchspielen in wenigen Tagen. Weil ich es ja wirklich schon mehrfach gespielt habe. Ich glaube, 2 Tage braucht man, dann ist man durch. Wenn ihr es zu Hause spielt, könnt ihr aber auch, wenn ihr neu zum ersten Mal spielt, könnt ihr schon eine ganze Weile auch Zeit damit verbringen. Und ich freue mich jetzt schon auf die ganzen Klassiker-Momente, wie diesen Locker-Room, wo dieses unzerstörbare Monster auf einen zukommt, was immer sich regeneriert und man selbst muss da irgendwie irgendwelche Hindernisse verschieben, während das Vieh hinter einem her ist. Da geht einem jedes Mal die Kackstelze aus dem Rücken. Also wirklich richtig schönes Ding. Und ich freue mich. Ich fand jetzt auch die Preso war jetzt auch nicht schlecht. Sie haben irgendwie halt ein bisschen versucht, was draus zu machen, haben auch ein bisschen was gezeigt. Ich finde gerade die Vergleiche mit dem Alten und Neuen ganz gut, weil man dann auch wirklich mal sieht, was passiert ist. Danke an Frotion und WinMe. Ihr habt mich abonniert und ich bedanke mich dafür. Und ja, diese Helmnummer, ganz im Ernst, wir hatten jetzt auch Colonel Hogan, der freut sich über seinen Helm. Ich mache mich da nur drüber lustig, weil ich so Plastik-Shit halt wirklich echt nicht mag. Schon noch nie gemocht habe. Funko, kannst du mir anal einführen. Alle Funkos, alle hintereinander, wie so ein Petspender, kannst du mir die in den Hintern schieben. Und da sind sie genau richtig. Alles nicht mein Ding. Und der Helm ist auch noch super hässlich. Aber als jemand, der sich auch irgendwann mal gefreut hat über den Master Chief Helm, oder also eher, war ja nicht sein Helm, eher den Mjölnir-Helm, muss ich sagen, ja, mein Gott, so be it. Ne? Wenn man dafür immerhin ein bisschen Plastikschrott in diesen Helm pressen kann und das dann bei euch zu Hause gelagert wird, von mir aus, ich werde es euch nicht übel nehmen. So, wo soll der ganze Staub hin? Ja, wenn ihr den Helm umdreht, könnt ihr da ganz viel Staub. There's so much place for Staub in this bastard. Okay. Also, ich muss sagen, es ist ein Spiel, auf das ich mich ganz enorm freue. Ich freue mich aber noch mehr auf Callisto-Protokoll, was ja vom Originalentwickler, einem der Originalentwickler, also einem der Köpfe sozusagen hinter Dead Space ist. Ich weiß nicht, ob Callisto-Protokoll wirklich irgendwas Neues bietet und mir fehlt da jetzt schon dieses Abtrennen-Feature der Glieder. Aber war auch klar, dass sie das jetzt nicht einfach kopieren könnten, weil dann wäre es wirklich einfach eine Dead Space-Kopie. Aber ich bin bei Callisto-Protokoll vorsichtig optimistisch, aber ich bin noch nicht hundertprozentig safe, dass das ein Hit wird. Könnte sein, dass es auch ein bisschen sich nach einer Weile totläuft, wortwörtlich. Ich weiß es nicht genau. Ich bin mal gespannt, wo es hinkommt. Okay, Leute.
Mann, ist der Stuhl glatt.
Stuhl? Ja, an was für einen Stuhl dachten Sie?
Mann, ist der Stuhl glatt.
Jawohl! Oh, so zum Sitzen, ne?
Das ist der Stuhl!
Stuhl?
Alles, was ich wollte, war ein verfluchter Drehstuhl.
Mann, ist der Stuhl glatt.
Jawohl!
Dieser Stuhl ist zum Sitzen da!